Hi guys, I'm Ramesh, your soft skill trainer, and today we'll go for non-verbal skills. Today we'll go for non-verbal skills. Nothing but non-verbal communication. So what is non-verbal communication? Mainly here, whatever the images we have, like your particularly facial expression, posture, gesture, signs, all together we can call as non-verbal communication. So they will leave some clues whenever you are talking to somebody. Whenever you are talking to somebody, they will give some clues. Okay, those are non-verbal skills. And here, so one author told, what you do speaks so loud that I cannot hear what you say. I'm repeating. What you do speaks so loud that I cannot hear what you say. What is the meaning here? So nothing but there is no correlation between what you are speaking and what your body language is saying. There is no correlation between what you are speaking and what your body language tells. So that is the reason here there should be a correlation. Then only people believe you, and whatever the words you are saying loudly, the same way your body language should represent. And here mainly out of all your communication, body language plays 93% of your communication. Out of all our communication, whether verbal, non-verbal, or whatever your language and facial expressions, all these things, mainly body language plays 93% of your communication, and out of all here non-verbal skills mainly plays 55%. Non-verbal skills plays mainly 55% of your communication, and about 38% vocal tone, how your tone like pitch, bass all together giving some sort of impression. Okay, so vocal tone or inflection of sounds, these play 38%, and your words, particularly verbal words, that plays only 7%. So nothing but here non-verbal skills 55%, vocal tone 38%, and 7% words playing. So here that is the reason we have to improve our non-verbal skills. And here non-verbal skills can these you cannot try to hide those feelings. Okay, you cannot try to hide nothing but somehow whatever you are speaking and your body language is saying something, then there is no correlation. So the communication, particularly you can stop verbal but never the non-verbal. You can stop verbal but never the non-verbal. So every time your body gives some clues to the whoever the opponent you are talking, whoever the person you are talking, whoever the person you are communicating. So that is the reason there should be correlation, my friends. And non-verbal messages, those are harder to hide and consciously control. Non-verbal skills, those are harder to hide and consciously control. So they are more accurate indications of how person feels. They are more accurate indications of how person feels. So here you have to mimic both your verbal and non-verbal skills, then only people give attention and they believe you particularly. Okay, so all last 5 to 6 classes we have been 5 to 6 lectures we have been discussing that based on your communication there is a strong relationship between you and somebody else. Okay, or the person whoever you are communicating, strong bond will form, then it leads to trust. Okay, when there is a trust between the people, obviously a healthy communication will start. And here non-verbal communication is strongly related to verbal communication also. Non-verbal communication is strongly related to verbal communication also. So here what are the basic functions of this non-verbal communication, how they correlate the verbal communication? Mainly repeat what you said. Suppose you are saying I'm fine, I'm great, something. Okay, so it should correlate your facial expressions. It should correlate your facial expressions. And clarity, verbal meaning, whatever you are saying, there should be a correlation. Okay, clarity of your verbal meaning and contradict the verbal meaning. Suppose your body language saying something and you are saying something. Verbally you are saying something and your gestures, postures saying something that contradict the meaning. And regulate the verbal interaction. So it controls the verbal interaction and it substitutes the verbal meaning also. Okay, so you are parallelly with your body language, nothing but verbal and non-verbal skills correlating, then it can substitute whatever your body language altogether, non-verbal skills. Suppose non-verbal skills are not correlating with the verbal skills, then obviously people don't give attention or else they have some misunderstanding about yourself. They don't trust you obviously. So that is how here, my friends, every thought, whatever it comes in your mind, which correlate your body language and whatever you are saying. Okay, so every time you cannot lie or you cannot hide non-verbal skills. You cannot hide non-verbal skills. And here, of all the thing you wear, your expression is the most important. Of all the things you wear, your expression is the most important, by Janet Lane. Our expression is most important whenever you are speaking or whenever you are giving some presentation, whatever. Okay, and involuntary moments, nothing but these are involuntary moments. So these are not in your control. Something like your heart beating, this is not in your control. Involuntary action. So here also these non-verbal skills are involuntary actions, and they gives about which one is really thinking, or what you are thinking really and what you are doing. That whatever the contradiction easily come out because the way you verbally and non-verbally communicates. And of course here people who are, it also depends on image. Okay, people who are attractive then judge it to be more intelligent, nothing but, and capable and desirable. Capable, desirable, intelligent. So without any factual basis, people judge whoever the people looks are great. Okay, so which they feel that intelligent and desirable and capable, they don't have any factual basis. They don't count the facts. And here mainly types of non-verbal communication, your body movement and facial expression and eye gaze, touch and proximity, nothing but the space how much you occupied whenever you are communicating, and time and vocal cues, silence, all together comes under non-verbal skills. So what is posture? Every time whenever you are communicating with people, hold your posture, nothing but, so don't disorganize your body. Okay, hold your posture. And also posture is the one which leads to blood circulation. If you are in right posture, then your blood circulation will be normal. You are on wrong posture and the blood circulation will be something like obstructed. Okay, and here this posture will give you self-confidence and interest and whatever the status of your mind. Posture gives self-confidence, interest and status of your mind. And what are gestures? So gesture nothing but in Oxford Dictionary meaning a movement of a limb or the body as an expression of the thought or feeling. A movement of a limb or body as an expression of thought or feeling. I think but here gestures, every time whatever you think, that will be reflected in your non-verbal skills. Okay. And eye contact. So we have to give eye contact, like about 40 to 50% eye contact you have to give and if you are communicating with the superiors, it depends. Okay, so when you have to give eye contact, when you should not give, every time you are directly focusing on other people's eyes also, some it gives some whatever the clues. Okay, so that leaves okay false impression also. Mainly here, Americans are thought look directly. Americans are taught look directly, whereas Japanese avoid direct eye contact. So Americans will give direct eye contact. Japanese avoid direct eye contact. So that is a American whatever the culture. It says that that is great non-verbal skill. And in case of Japanese, they avoid because it represents weakness or sexual overtone. It represents weakness or sexual overtone in case of Japanese or Japan, and here Americans, it will give a right non-verbal communication, great non-verbal communication. So eye contact, eye gaze also important. We have to give eye contact when you are talking to people, when you are giving presentation, when we have debate, or when you are discussing some things. Okay. And voluntary dimensions. What this eye contact tells: respect, friendliness, comfort, respect, friendliness, comfort. All these clues will be left by this eye gauge, eye contact. So, my friends, whenever you have talk with people or when you are communicating with people, please do eye contact. And here, so neither the dead fish nor the Kunkli grinder, okay, neither the dead fish nor the Kunkli grinder. So here mainly handshake, okay, knuckle grinder, sorry, here neither dead fish nor knuckle grinder. So what is meaning of this? So here while you are giving handshake, it is not that much hard, and whatever the finger, this knuckle should not hurt, okay, should not grind. So in such a way you have to give handshake. Okay. And here silence, every time your non-verbal skills will give some silence cues. Okay, those are quiet. Okay, when you are quiet, so it represents embarrassment, punishment, and your contentment. All these also will be represented by your silence. All these also will be represented by your silence. If you can't understand my silence, you can't understand me. You can't understand my silence, you cannot understand me. Nothing but when a person is silent, so we come to know why. Because of sorrow, or because of happiness, or because of whatever, embarrassment, punishment, all these we should understand. Then only we come to know what is really communication is. Okay. And here, time perception. Arriving late is a way of showing importance. We used to find that most of the guest speakers used to come late. Okay, so nothing but it is showing some importance. And what Vivekananda cross hands indicates? They indicate self-confidence and contentment, humility, modesty, and extreme care. Extreme care, humility, modesty, contentment, self-confidence. These are represented by cross hands of Vivekananda. Okay, the body never lies. Martha is the author. He said the body never lies. The body never lies. And so every time here body language or this non-verbal skills will give some clues. That is the reason, my friends, you should not lie, because your body language every time gives some clues, or they have to correlate with the verbal communication. Whatever the non-verbal communication, you have to correlate with verbal communication. And sometimes these non-verbal skills will represent your arousal, how active you are, and dominance. whether you are commanding or dominating also will be represented. That is the reason here better you have right non-verbal skills. It is also some inculcated habit. In one day we can't learn everything, and lifetime you should be a student. And one here, so Indra Nooyi, she is the CEO of Pepsi Cola. She is from USA. Of course, she is an Indian, and she told if you want to learn something, you should be a student lifetime. If you want to learn something, you should be a student lifetime. And if you want to really want skills, you throw yourself in that moment where you want to learn. You throw yourself in that moment where you want to learn. And this often we can find some people used to lie. Okay, what we can observe when people are lying, they used to get sweating and drying up of mouth, rubbing the nose, chewing inside the mouth. All these things we can observe. People used to get sweat whenever they are lying, and biting fingernails or chewing the inside of mouth, drying up of the mouth, rubbing the nose continuously. These and all we can observe when the people are lying. I think, but here non-verbal skills leave more clues when you are communicating with people. So these are the non-verbal skills, and we have to improve to impress anybody. Often we would say first impression is the best impression. So that is the reason. So we should dress up properly, and our body language also gives so many clues. And bottom line is, every time how you think, it gives your non-verbal skills. You cannot stop your non-verbal skills. It is not under your voluntary control. That is the reason, my friends. So you should be honest yourself when you are communicating. First you should be honest. Then obviously your verbal and non-verbal clues are correlating, and which will give a great impression on you, and your communication will improve, and there is a strong bond build up between the people. Then obviously will be happy and lead a great job. Thank you, my friends. I am Ramesh, your soft skill trainer. Thank you.